Back in the 1980s, there were tons of good guy action figures, but not enough bad guy action figures unless you were collecting the G.I. Joe or He-Man toy line until now. There are good guys, there are bad guys, then there are the worst. Hello, toy collectors and YouTubers. This is Film School 93 with another authentic Legends and Collectibles toy review. And today's toys, we'll be reviewing Super 7's ReAction action figures of the Worst 3.0. But before we get started on the toy review, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notifications for future toy reviews. Alright, so here we have the first one, X3, the Enigma. And I like how they come up with these names over there at Super 7, since this is their brainchild. And there's the artwork by Ed Ripka, looking awesome on the side. The worst logo at the top. Of course, you got, make sure there's no bends, no tears, as this was packaged and sent to me. And here are the other action figures of the worst from Worst Series 1 and 2. Then I call this one 3.0 because we got some new ones coming in, which is really kind of cool. But here's all the information in the back for this deal, and it looks like we got some good stuff going on. Like I said, I like how this is packaged. I like how the worst logo is at the top. So let's take this guy out of the package. Here he is, X3, the Enigma. I like the way this thing looks. Lots of detail. And there's a clear helmet on him, but you can see what's inside his helmet as well. It's like the robotic mechanisms of his head and his brains. It's just absolutely neat. Love the sculpt. Very sturdy, very tight plastic. The detail and the apps, paint outs around this. But as I look at this a little bit closer, I'm kind of thinking this is the mold from X2, the Unknown. Well, I'll talk about that here in a little bit later, maybe compare oranges to apples. But I like what they've added on here and just giving him his own unique look compared to the other ones of his kind, if you will. I don't know the backstory. There really isn't a backstory on this that I've heard from on the X people. So here, let's do the 5-part articulation test. Make sure nothing bends, tears, falls apart. This arm's a little bit wobbly, a little bit loose here. So that's kind of not usual with Super 7, but I do 5-part articulation on the head. Everything's cool on the top, and once again the legs, nothing busting off. A little bit of tight plastic, just that loose part on that arm there, but that's not to make it a deal breaker or anything. I still like this toy. Very good, secure plastic. Like the way it looks. He does come with an accessory. He comes with this big old honking machine gun, if you are, laser, whatever this thing is. I love it. This is absolutely cool. The detail, and to have something this big as an accessory and this solid of a plastic from Super 7 is really unheard of. I'm not for sure. I mean, they're kind of doing the, what do you call it, the Fortnite type of action figure accessory type thing. Is what this reminds me of. So that's pretty cool. This thing is huge. I mean, you can see the comparison to the action figure. I can't believe how big and how straight this plastic is, and how big of an accessory this is for a Super 7 action figure. But here he is. All right, X1, the Nameless. This, once again, has that artwork from Ed Ripka there on the card. And, of course, the ReAction logo looking like Kenner, vintage Kenner at the bottom. Like the way this package, I like how that bubble looks like a coffin. On every one of the worst action figures that comes like that. I think it's so neat, unique to have that. Of course, here they are again at the back, all the action figures that come within the series. Here's some more coming. Now, they don't have these ones yet. X4 and X5 are not available yet, but I'll definitely get that. They do have an X2 Unknown, but I already have one of those from like the variant 2, or wave 2 of, or not wave 2, variant 2 of the worst action figures of the first set that came out. But anyways, let's take this guy out of the card. Here he is. X1, the Nameless. And I like the vinyl cape going on here, and this is how it's kind of connected together. But the vinyl cape, that plastic, is kind of going back to that old vintage Kenner style action figure, if you go from the late 70s, 1980s, for Star Wars type thing, like Darth Vader's cape. And that's where these figures are. They're 3.75 action figures, which is pretty much all I collect. But I like the way this has been put together. Once again, I'm kind of getting a vibe that this is the body of the action figure is actually the mold from X2, but we'll find out here in just a few minutes when I do a comparison. But here he is. Boy, the detail on this is amazing. The sculpt is amazing. Look at the detail on that head. I mean, it's just absolutely neat. And then look at the back of that as well. 5-point articulation chase is what I'm doing here. The head didn't pop off. That's great. Arms, okay. It's not as loose as that other one. Arms are doing great. We'll go ahead and do the legs too. Make sure that they don't pop off or fall apart. Always can depend on Super 7 with sturdy plastic on these action figures. Not a problem here. So he looks absolutely great. I like the design. The design that was taken into this for his role. But he does come with an accessory. Once again, like I mentioned before, they're going like Fortnite, Super 7 is, with these action figure accessories. They're big and sturdy plastic. Usually they're just little tiny rinky-dinky little things, but not this time around. This thing is absolutely huge, the spear that he came with. And I think they did a great job with this action figure and this line sculpting these things, especially since the worst is the brainchild of Super 7, ReAction there, if you will. And so, yeah, Perfect. Let's do that comparison of oranges to apples here, if I can find that other figure here. And if I can just kind of get to it, I'm kind of bumping everything here. Here he is, X3, the Enigma, next to X1, the Nameless, and they both look identical. Their bodies, their arms look identical. The creases in the arms there, kind of lifted up this little deal here to show the legs here, if we can. Kind of the close up of the legs here. I'm kind of way down here at the bottom. My apologies. Here, the legs, kind of the same wrinkle in the pants. It's the same mold for the body that they're using here. Now, of course, they've added on details to the other one, but I guarantee you this X1, the Nameless, on the other side, his body is X2, the Unknown. I guarantee it. And I'm gonna have to just take a look. So here they are. I think they look great, but let's go ahead and do a comparison of these two to X2, the Unknown. Now, here's my other action figure, and sure enough, I was correct. They are using the mold, the body of X2, the Unknown, and just adding stuff to it and doing it kind of like that. It's a cheaper way to do the figure, to be honest, and make it a little bit faster making these figures. Now, of course, I didn't get the Unknown 2 because he does come in the series as orange. I didn't get him because he's just... I already have them. They're expensive to begin with, almost $20 a pop. But if you are into these type of action figures, if you're into the worst 3.75 action figures, Super 7, any type of cool thing like this, then this is something that I highly recommend you should get added to your collection, especially if you are a fan of the worst. The Worst 3.0 action figures from Super 7 can be yours today. Just click on the link below in the description and get the worst action figures today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button below and please subscribe to our channel.